Okay. Okay. Oh wow. Yeah, that is very big. Okay. First of all, hi. I'm filming this on my iPad, so it's a little different. So, and from what I can tell, you can see that my hands shake and everything a lot more on this than on my little iPod. Side effect of being bipolar, plus the medication doesn't help. I try to take care of it, but let's see. How did my day go today? It uber sucks. The I didn't get to sleep last night. We got home very, very late, mainly because I was in the ER again. The pain that I'm going through right now, Jesus, you have no clue. It is just horrible. My stomach feels like somebody is just tap dancing all over it. And I might end up taking another pain pill too that they gave me, because this is bad. The law that they gave me while I was at the emergency room, boy, did that do the trick. It also made me feel weird. I still had a firm grasp on my faculties, which is a little out of the ordinary for me because I'm a bit of a lightweight, and I've said that before. And these kinds of drugs, stuff, that although do help when it comes to pain, they knock me for a loop. It doesn't take much either. I've done things online that I really embarrassed myself. There's some people that should honestly drink alone or get high alone because they can't shut up. And I'm one of those people. I don't do drugs, don't drink. But if you give me something like Ambien or Valium or whatever, my body reacts to it. And it's like being hit with a lead pipe. I actually asked the nurse, oh, wait, let's get my, oh, if they could tie me down just in case I did something dumb. And, okay, trying to race this thing. Okay, alright. Okay, what happened to the light? Oh, there we go. They did a CAT scan. They were just gonna, give me the boot in the emergency room and with some painkillers and antibiotics. But I wanted to make sure that everything had been checked out. And I have read that a CT scan is just as good as an endoscopy. And if Dr. Nguyen has a problem with that, then I won't go see him again after the initial appointment. I'm hurting right now too. It flares up and off all the time, and according to what I've read, this is more than likely ulcerative colitis, which is a little pocket of infection in an area of the intestines, and that is what's causing the pain. I am going to take my medicine religiously because he gave me exactly what they recommended for colitis, and I'm hoping that does the trick. In all honesty, I am just so sick of this. Oh God, you have no idea how bad this feels, and if you do, I feel sorry for you. I really do. My brother stayed in the truck. My twin brother, actually, I asked him to come with me. Believe it or not, Billy's actually a very big comfort. He always was. And if you want to look up his videos, he's known as the Wrestle Gamer down here. And don't be surprised by our resemblance to each other. We are twins. So, fraternal, but we still look pretty much alike. By the way, and do not laugh at me. I don't have a back scratcher because the mosquitoes down here in Louisiana are fucking horrible. Now I feel like I feel like those old hounds that used to see, like, around neighborhoods, and they struggle to just try to scratch that last flea just to get that sucker off. Oh, I know how that feels now. It's worse than chicken pox. I really think it is. Oh, this is every year here in Louisiana. hmm I'm gonna do a few things before I go to bed tonight, which, and the number one would be, as you can see, I have gaps in my hair color. I'm going to fix that, and that way I can put in the low lights tomorrow, um, and get that done. And maybe, by the time my next paycheck comes, I can go and get my hair cut done, because this sucker is like majorly thick. I have very, very thick hair, which is always bothered me, especially during the summer, because I don't have lice, I don't have fleas, but I have a very sensitive scalp, and my skin is also very sensitive. And if you could see in the camera here, you would see like all the way up, like my arms and stuff. Ooh, they all have like little bites and stuff like that. And my son's even worse, because it's not mosquitoes really that got to him, it's ants. And the little goober still refuses to put on shoes when he goes outside. I tried to warn him, and for all you mothers out there, you know what I'm talking about. In one ear, out the other. They just do not think we know what we're talking about. But we all thought the same thing about our mothers all that time ago. But at least the doctor was a little annoyed with me in the ER. Didn't bother me 1 inch bit. Because if you tried to be rude or something, I would say something. But because nobody deserves that. But he did the CT scan. Turns out though that little stone that they saw that got lost by my appendix. Well, now my appendix are a little irritated. They can see a little swelling. If I end up with appendicitis, after that doctor told me, "Oh, don't worry, you won't get appendicitis with that," I'm gonna knock that dude up the balls. I swear, just one big kick. Because honestly, I can't afford to have emergency surgery. I can't. I have to work every single day I can. Want to pay the bills, to buy food. I mean, Mason is that boy is almost 5 years old, and he's 70 pounds. He eats like a horse. I keep buying veggies. He wants candy. No. My father is already a borderline diabetic. I am not going to see him get put through that, because it's a very scary condition, and I don't want him losing a foot or going blind or having help get into a diabetic coma. And I've had enough shit for my lifetime. I swear. After my little brother passed away and everything, I'm still dealing with that. That traumatized me like nobody's business, because I always have this way of thinking that I should have known. I make myself feel responsible. But then, well, technically, that's mainly because I'm the oldest, and I have tried my best to take care of my little brothers and sisters, and sometimes it just wasn't possible. I did what I can. I mean, I even got punched in the face once for it. And yeah, and my little brother's the one who did it too, the one who passed away. And it's like I've told friends, I wish I could have fixed it, at least before he died. It would have been a relief to know that he knows that I forgive him, and I wanted him to forgive me because there were times where I was not the best sister I could have been. I've tried to help him in the past, and it blew up in my face. And okay, sorry. I just took to see my parents at home. I'm not in their home. I'm in mine, which is right next door. And they went to get a birthday cake for one of the kids. But yeah, I do blame myself for a lot of things, including what happened to him. I had told him numerous times that the booze, the cigarettes, the pills, the gambling, it's gonna catch up with you. And he's had a couple incidences where he was in a coma for 3 days, closed head injury, fight somebody. Pretty much. By the way, if you live in Louisiana, do not make this mistake. He picked up a hitchhiker, and I'm guessing it must have been a woman, because that is one of my little brother's weaknesses. And he wouldn't leave a woman on the side of the road. It's not safe. In that aspect, he was a gentleman about things. What he didn't know is that it was a setup. By the time they got to where she needed to be, they jumped him. I don't know the details too much, but I know at 3 a.m. in the home that me and Billy shared, not this one, but another one, I was up. I mean, back then I had insomnia all the time, so I was awake. And boys, Dustin and Justin were here having a sleepover. It was one of ours. I think it was their birthday at the time. That's what they wanted to do, is spend time with Billy, because he's like the video game master. And when I opened that door and I saw Jamie's face, nobody does that to someone just to rob them. These assholes tried to kill my brother. I screamed, and I started calling for Billy and everything. Dustin and Justin saw Jamie's face and ran out. It was traumatizing for them, and I don't blame them. And then I screamed pretty loud, and I called the house, told Dad he needed to get over here and to call the cops because something was wrong. And I've never seen anybody messed up like that before. I'm pretty much a very green person. My upbringing was very lonely. Pretty much like, living in a cage. It's mainly because of my health problems. So I didn't think people did stuff like that. That makes no sense to me. And oh God, my mom looked into the inside of the cab of his truck, but Jimmy was already drunk. And he's lucky that they didn't pull him over. Then they probably would have shot him or something. There was blood inside that cab everywhere. My mom nearly passed out. I was just so freaked out. And they called an ambulance and everything, brought him to the hospital. Whoever they were, they broke the orbital bone right there, and he was severely messed up. He had already had at least 3 other closed head injuries. He didn't need another one. It was very, very dangerous. And later on in life, he ended up having problems with seizures. Just thinking about that face, though. He didn't look like himself. At least not to me. When he knocked at my door, I knew something was wrong. I figured he probably was drunk. but still, even drunk, he always thought of me, but it was kind of like, square. And, we didn't know how to have fun, stuff like that. And that's his words, not mine. And I'm like, well, what the hell is he doing here? And I opened the door and I saw him. I couldn't say anything. I was just shocked. I guess maybe I am very, very green. But why would you want to do that to another human being? I mean, there's going to be some payback, bitches. When they go when they face judgment, they're going to play that little moment in time on God's big projector reel. And let's see, you did this to this boy. And I hope they pay the price for it. Because my brother, as mean as he can be to me and to the kids, I've never seen him harm anyone the way that they did him. He never, ever sought someone out to hurt them that way. It just wasn't who he was. He wanted friends badly. He never would have done something like that. That's just not who he is. If you want to know more about the previous incidents, okay, I'll describe those to you too. I think the first one was when he fell through, I think it's a porthole or something. It had a real heavy lid on it. And according to Jimmy, once he was better, that there was a requirement of having two men to open those things. And nobody wanted to help him. That poor little brother, man, he had no luck whatsoever. And he was in a position, he had to do his job. And I understand, being stuck between a rock and a hard place. And he thought for sure that he had it and everything was fine. But the weight kind of countered everything, and his balance got lost. He fell 35 feet. The only thing that saved his ass was when his pocket caught hold of a valve. He had some minor lacerations around the penis. We were just grateful he was alive. I managed to track him down and to find out what hospital he was in, and my parents were able to talk to his doctor and everything. Believe it or not, tracking someone down, I'm pretty good at that, believe it or not. And let's see, what was the other one? Yeah. I warned my little brother not to go out for Mardi Gras, at least not the night of Mardi Gras. You want to go out in the daytime? That's okay. He didn't even have any. He only had $5. That was it. You could have had one beer. That's it. He's sitting at the bar on a stool, minding his own business. And two assholes from the back of the bar were fighting. And they came towards the front, knocked the stool right out from under my brother, and he fell headfirst into a concrete floor. And for some reason, they decided when they wanted to wait for the ambulance that they were going to put him in the bathroom to wait for it. Now tell me, do you think that makes any sense? Because something don't seem right to me, Chef. But yeah, he was really hurt that time. I remember him coming home from another closed head injury that he had, and it was very weird because he was spouting all these random numbers, stuff. My cousin Dave came by, gave him a fishing rod. And he said, you got to get better so we can use that thing, go catch some fish. And that's just how Dave is. He had to pay in the butt when he was younger, but he grew out of it. It was scary to see him like that. He has had a lot of close calls. He has wrecked a lot of trucks too. There's this big curve when you're going towards my area, going towards Catahoula, everything. That idiot, oh my god. He was going 120 miles an hour and he fell asleep at the wheel. He jumped the curve. The only thing that kept him from, I mean, a real bad wreck is the trees. It was like medium sized trees and they kind of caught the whole truck. And he was able to get out. He walked all the way back to our house. Talked to Dad, told him what happened, and Dad told him, said, well, you need to go back to the scene of the accident. That's illegal. You can't do that. And what Jamie did, what he always did, he walked right back. Which he could have waited. Daddy probably would have blown him. Oh Lord, man. We actually brought Jimmy back to the scene of the accident because he lost one of his shoes. And believe it or not, we found it. And it could have gone really badly for him. But things happen. I don't think there's a member of this family that's had any real luck at all. For me, it was always the teasing and dealing with people trying to get me into trouble. God knows I loved my best friend at the time. She was like my sister. But she got me in some jams. And you know, you're 16, 17 years old. You want to try things that you didn't even know 16, 17-year-old kids tried. And yeah, mainly cigarettes. I never drank. That's something that I stay away from. Between Jamie, my Uncle Michael, and my Uncle Al, considering the way they died, I said, nope. I will not touch that stuff. I don't smoke either. The only thing I ever taken that's remotely addictive and that's was for a legitimate reason. I mean, I've broken a few bones and stuff. Was you know, just painkillers. You know, from the hospital. I'm still waiting to see if they're back with the cake. It's probably gonna be a cookie cake. The birthday girl in question is now 6 years old. And she is the biggest motor mouth I've ever met in my life. And it says a lot. Because, I mean, look at me. I'm sitting here rambling on to a camera to put this on YouTube to let people get to know me in a totally anonymous way. I mean, I'm completely honest about pretty much everything. You can see me so you know I'm not catfishing anybody. So, I am not your typical person. I never was. I do this a little bit for myself and a little bit for everyone else. I figure if I open my life up like a book, maybe, you know, there's somebody out there that's not afraid to be around someone who's different. And yes, I have no teeth on the upper part of my jaw, but that is mainly because of my health problems. The drugs and stuff that are saving my life. Sorry, mosquito. Are also causing a lot of issues. I have problems with my skin. Yeah, actually you can see it too, like right here. See? This is part of it. Yeah, I got a mega dose of it because I also got a blood transfusion when I did that. It's very painful. Not like chemo in all the ways. And the steroids mainly are what did this to my teeth. I still brush and everything. Um, because I'm so scared that I always been paranoid about my breath. You know, who? I mean, no one wants to smell your bad breath when you're trying to get to know them a little bit. I mean, like, huh? It's like that episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob didn't know he had bad breath, and he was having a run. Well, he was having people run away from him. You know what I mean? The only reason why I know about that is my little brothers too. So I don't like SpongeBob, but stuff like that. The medicine is also getting very hard to find. According to them, they need me to start trying something new. I'm a little scared about that. One of the few drugs that I tried when I was still in Tulane was something called Gamamune. And Dr. Eldar told me, oh, it's good, it's great. You know, all my other patients say there's no side effects, they feel fine. Oh, that should have been a clue something was going to happen. I got sick. I almost fainted. It definitely wasn't a good day for me. Hopefully, something will come up. The research, I mean, it's been 25 years since I started. Hopefully, something will be found that can work. Hell, what would be really nice is if it was a pill, and all I had to do was take one pill every day, and I'd be fine. That'd be my dream come true. Because, I mean, if you look around my house, my IV pool's like in here, I think it's actually in another room, but I use that every time. It's not fun. It's probably never gonna be fun. I have little scars. You can see one here, right here. There's a bunch right here, and that's only from like Mediport catheters. And if you know somebody with cancer, you know what that is. And those are actually a big comfort, but because my skin is very easily infected, I ended up losing all the Mediports I had. I had about 7 of them. Well, there was at least 1 or 2 that lasted a few years, and that's probably the best it's ever been for me. And it's harder too because these little things, they're round on one end, and they got this little tube that goes into these really big veins. But the thing is that round thing needs to be situated a certain way, and it can actually flip while you have it in you. And that happened to me. I was not happy. My doctor at the time tried to flip it. All I did was just hurt. And I was like, ow, ow, ow. Dang, man, they still knocked back. Well, everything's alright. Okay, oh Lord, I need to pause just a little bit. And for those of you who don't know, we have a new baby here in my little village. At least that's what I call something, because got my house here. We got my middle set of brothers. They're the twins, Dustin and Justin. And then there's a brick home. And that is my parents. And they still do foster care. It's been a little over 45 years. And they have had over 500 children come in and out of that house. And this new little boy, oh, Shabby babe, he's so cute. This is a kid that's not even a week old. He's teeny, teeny, tiny. He's 7 pounds and very, very short. And he's got a really bad temper. My mom just finished giving him his bath. Doesn't like it. He doesn't like anybody really messing with him. He does like being held though. His main reason for being with us is that his mother popped positive for heroin, methamphetamines, cocaine, let's see, a few other things. And you have no idea what that does to a baby in the womb. I know because Dustin and Justin are crack cocaine addicted babies. And they were very much premature. They were very tiny. They were actually 3 pounds lighter than this little bundle of joy is. He's gained a little bit of weight. He lost some when he went home, but which is actually normal, believe it or not. Bald with these dark blue-gray eyes. He's very beautiful. It's easy to get charmed by him too. I can't wait to fatten him up and everything. We really do like children here. Me and my brother Billy, my twin, were the first they adopted, and I guess after all these years, I hear people say the same thing about adoption and foster care. And say, well, we're scared that we're gonna, get attached and they're gonna leave. Well, yeah, you know what, that does happen, and in other instances, you can end up being the one that adopts the child that you're fostering, and that's happened to us. Every single child you see in my family were fostered here first, and then we adopted them. And I think our family is better for it too. And I've loved a lot of kids, and I think the best part about doing foster care is that yes, you may not be in their life for forever, but if you use that one instant in time to give them what they need, which is a little loving, you know, play with them, hug them, rock them, play with them, then you did something that even their parents couldn't do. And I have tried to live by that as good as I can. I probably will have a problem when he leaves, but at least I know he won't have any problems with attachment disorders and things like that. And there's such a thing as a diagnosis called failure to thrive. And I've seen some really hard cases, especially in China, and broke my heart. And makes you just want to pick them up and hug them, because that's what they deserve. That's what they need. And some people just don't understand the damage they do by holding back love. I love my Mason. My son is probably the biggest joy of my life. And he's adopted too. And I think I spoiled him a little bit too much, but I'm glad that he does love me just the way I love him. And we do what we can. I dare any of you who are even, just a little bit remotely interested in doing something like that, to go ahead and get some information on it. Louisiana laws are a little different because of that whole Napoleonic Code thing. Thanks a lot, Mr. Bonaparte. But, yeah, in different states it may vary, but the basics should stay the same. Give it a try. I mean, what do you got to lose? I see Angelina Jolie adopting these kids from all these different countries. I guarantee you there are plenty of children that could use your help now and in this country. I hope I didn't sound too preachy. That's just kind of how my beliefs. That's my beliefs. So now I am going to upload this, and I will hopefully see y'all again soon. And please, if you can, if you have any commentary or if you have any suggestions about I could do to make this a little bit better, um, or if you just have questions about me and you want to, get to know me a little bit, I got no problem with that whatsoever. So I'll see y'all around, okay?